How are you all? How's the preparation going? Have you covered all the major topics? Is there any doubt in any part of PPB? Let's start with the final MCQ session. We'll be completing all of the MCQs that are here, that are there in the remaining part of Module C, and eventually be completing with Module D. From 45 to 55, we'll be having a session today. If you want to ask anything regarding any topic, you can ask that in the chat section. Let's start. Namaste. Let's start. Okay, let's start. So the first unit that we have is Unit 45, Data Communication Network and EFT System. I hope you all have gone through the MCQs that have been provided. Yes, that I have provided. You have gone through the PDFs. Okay, let's start. So here, what is important for you is this. You need to know what chips, chaps and charts is. Chips kahan hai? Where is chips off? Where is chaps off and where is charts off? Chips is of USA, chaps is of UK, and charts is of Hong Kong. Okay, you need to know this, and you need to know the components of data communication. Let's start with question number 1. Question number 1 is on the screen. Question number 1 is on the screen. Please keep on replying to the MCQ so that it is easy for you. You do not have to revise it when you have downloaded. Okay, you get your MCQs done with right now. Statement number 1. Statement number 1 is MICR based truncation captures the entire MICR line electronically. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Including check number, Citibank branch number and transaction code, and uses this data for interbanking clearing without physical moving the check further. Yes, statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2. In check image processing truncation, both sides of the checks are scanned and stored digitally, with the physical check is sent to the immediate destruction after scanning. No, we do not destruct the physical check. The physical check is typically moved to the offside storage. It is moved to the offside storage. We do not destruct it. Statement number 2 is incorrect. Statement number 3 is also correct. Statement number 3 is also correct. The mount is inserted in the MICR line during the encoding. 1 and 3 are correct. A is the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Very good answer, Jian Sushil ji. Next question. ABC Bank is a participant in the RTGS system. On the typical RTGS business day, ABC Bank needs to understand the sequence of an event and operational cutoffs to manage its payment system and liquidity efficiently. The RTGS system followed a phase schedule and plan. Banks also use the inter-day liquidity facility provided by RBI against eligible collateral to manage its funds. Based on the above case study, identify the correct statement about RTGS operations and business day phases. So we have business day phases, right? Starting of the day and end of the day. BOD, beginning of the day and end of the day. Now, read the statements that are given, please, and let me know what the correct answer is. See, the payments submitted by banks during the starting of the day phase are processed immediately for settlement. Are they? No. During the starting of the day phase, payments submitted are not accepted for immediate settlement. They are queued until the next day, open for the business start, when the next phase of open for business starts. Statement number 1 is incorrect. After the initial cutoff, Bank ABC cannot submit any customer transaction, but interbank transaction can be accepted. Yes. Next, no inter-day liquidity request can be made after the first final cutoff, but the banks can still receive liquidity credits to repay outstanding ideal loans during the ideal reversal section. Correct? Next, IM and SB files can only be submitted after the end of the day event. No. MNSB files and MNSB returns can be posted anytime during the business hours. It is not just end of the day. It is not just end of the day. Statement number 4 is incorrect. 1 is incorrect, 4 is incorrect. Even 5 is correct. That will give us 2, 3, 5 as correct. A is the correct answer. Very good. A is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements about microwave system and communication satellites. First, microwave systems use high-frequency radio signals and transmit data via antennas mounted on towers, amplifying and retransmitting signals along the route. Yes, correct. Statement number 2. Communication satellites orbit around the Earth at a speed that keeps them stationary relative to the Earth and use transponders to relay signals between the Earth and station. Yes. Satellite communication broadcasts are dependent on the distance between the Earth's stations, limiting their geographical coverage. C. Satellites are throughout the Earth. There is no limitation, geographical limitation. Okay? There is no geographical limitation. Statement number 3 is incorrect. That will give us A again as the correct answer. Next question. Mr. Sharma. Kanshi, statement number 3 was incorrect. Mr. Sharma want to transfer 250,000 from his bank to Bank A's branch in Delhi to the account of Mrs. Kapoor in branch B in Mumbai using NEFT. Bank A branch is enabled for NEFT. Based on the working of the NEFT system, which of the following statements are correct? NEFT transaction can be processed for any amount and includes paisa components. There is no upper limit for individual NEFT transactions. Are there upper limits for NEFT transactions? No upper limit, right? And they do include paisa component 24.50 add plus GST. Next, the Reserve Bank of India acts only as a system regulator but do not provide the NEFT services. This is incorrect. The Reserve Bank of India acts both as the regulator and the provider of NEFT. Next, statement number 2 is incorrect. The sending bank must communicate the cutoff time for accepting NEFT request to the customers by displaying it prominently at its premises. Yes. Next statement. Beneficiary bank must credit the beneficiary's account either on the same day or at the starting of the next working day if it is a holiday. Yes. If the beneficiary fails to receive the payment due to an error, the beneficiary bank is responsible for refunding the sender immediately. If the payment fails, it is the sending bank responsible to inform the sender and to refund the money, not the beneficiary bank. It is the sending bank always. Statement number 5 is incorrect. That will give us 1, 3, 4 as correct. D is the correct answer. D is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements regarding about RBI net. Regarding RBI net. Statement number 1. RBI net is developed in C. There is a C language, right? There is a C language. So RBI network supports both DOS and Unix platform and uses TCP and IP covers over the XZ.25 protocol for inter-server communication. Okay, so RBI net है ना, this is developed on the language C. It does support DOS and Unix and uses TCP /IP over X.25 Unix server communication. Because C language is the most common one. Statement number 2. RBI net allows free format messaging without restrictions on message length and supports file transfer of ASCII text and binary files. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It transfers both ASCII and binary, spreadsheets, programs, everything. Statement number 3. The RBI net is used by several bank departments, including the transmission section of Section 42, subsection 2 of the RBI Act, data and dissemination of macroeconomic indicators by Department of Economic Analysis and Policy. Again, this statement is also correct. That will give us D as the correct answer. All the statements given are correct. D is the correct answer. Next, which of the following statements are correct? The check turnication system replaces the physical movement of the check with electronic image and MICR data as per the amended NI Act. Is this statement correct? Yes, it is. CTS is stopping the check physical movement of the checks. Statement number 2. Aadhaar-enabled payment system allows basic banking transaction at micro ATMs using biometric authentication through any bank business correspondence. Again, correct. UPI supports immediate peer-to-peer transfer 24/7 with a maximum transaction limit of 2 lakh rupees and allowing multiple banks via BEAM. Yes. Yes. Statement number 4. The NETC program provides an interoperable national-wide toll payment solution including settlements and dispute management. Again, correct. NETC is a national-wide interoperable toll payment. Statement number 5. Bharat Bill Payment System, introduced in 2019 by NPCI, is an umbrella system that facilitates payment of all kinds through multiple channels. First of all, this did not got introduced. Yes, Bharat Pay का यही system है, but it got introduced in 2017, not in 2019. In 2016, Paytm boomed and around that area things started to come in. And everything was there. Every Beam Pay, Phone Pay, QRs, Paytms, etc. were there functioning by the end of 2017. Next. So B is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following combination of the statement accurately describes the features, development and security measures of SWIFT? SWIFT measures. Statement number 1 is correct. SWIFT was indeed founded in 1973 as a cooperative non-profit under the Belgium law. Statement number 2 is incorrect. It talks about 400 different standardized message, not 100. It is 400. Statement number 3 is correct. The authentication mechanism in the SWIFT uses telegraphic text. Statement number 4 is incorrect. SWIFT does assume responsible for the message between the regional and the banks. It uses the feature. It does not need assumes. It does not create assumes. SWIFT GPI features allows banks to track the payment. Yes, it does. Statement number 6. After 2016 Bangladesh bank fraud, SWIFT immediately updated its system to allow payment to be stopped instantly. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. The payment control feature introduced in 2018 allows real-time monitoring and protection of payment, but it only applies to financial institutions that are members of SWIFT network. Payment control features apply to global financial systems, not just SWIFT members. It applies to every financial institution. Okay? At the global level. Okay? So we have got what is right. 1 is correct, 3 is correct, 5 is correct, 6 is correct. 1, 3, 5, 6. D is the correct answer. D is the correct answer. Very good, Sushil ji. Next question. Automated clearing system. Chips, chaps, chats. Chips was of USA, chaps is of UK, chats is of Hong Kong. Right? Chips, chaps and chats. Chip system operates without any redundancy in the communication channel, making it susceptible to failure. Chips use dual system and redundancy for protection against failure, making this statement as incorrect. It is a dual system and there is a redundancy in communication. Statement number 4 is incorrect. Statement number 5 is correct. It is an auto clearing system. Statement number 1, 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 5 are correct. A is the correct answer. Next, last question from this unit. Very good answer, Ji and Sushil ji. Next question. Fed wire primarily facilitates the transfer of reserve account balance, government securities, and high value domestic payments. Yes, it does. Bank wire is a government owned electronic telecommunication. No, it is not. Bank wire is a private sector network, not a government owned. Point of scale system allows direct transfer of funds from the customer's bank account to the retailers at the time of purchase. Yes, it does. Statement number 4, Fed wire operates over an X into 2.25 protocol based packet switched network. Yes, it does. In the shared POS network, transactions are directed through switching center to the appropriate bank. Yes, that is. Yes, it is. This statement is also correct. So statement number 2 is not correct. Others are correct. That will give us A as the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Very good, Sushil ji and Kansha ji. Next is, see, it talks about NFS, NACH, UPIs, beams, Bharat QR, Rupee. Okay, इसमें सब कुछ everything is important, but it is not. You do not have to put a lot of mind here. You know what is UPI, you know what is Beam Pay, what is Bharat QR, what is BPBS, you know what NACH is. NFS is a system. देखो क्या होता है? There is a ATM. इस ATM में it is suppose ATM of PNB, but I can swipe my SBI card or a Citi card or a Union Bank card and get the money out of it. Okay, it not just gives out money, it gives out queries. It help us take the bank balance queries, checkbook operation के लिए request, and there can be everything which a normal ATM does, but it allows the payment of other bank ATM payment also. NACH is National Automated Clearing House. This is of India कि यहाँ पे physical movement of checks have been stopped, and what this does. UPI system, IMPS system, BHIMS, BPS, you all are doing this on every day. Then there was a payment vision of 2025. Basically, a very easy unit, a very scoring unit. So if you are thorough with this, if you have read this properly, if you have gone through this properly, you will be able to attempt the questions of this unit. Just a reading of these short notes that I have provided to you will be sufficient for this unit, right? And you will be scoring good. Question number 1 is on the screen. RuPay is a domestic card payment scheme developed by NPCI to enable Indian banks to participate in electronic payment. Yes. Transaction and customer data related to RuPay card transaction are stored outside India to ensure global compliance. No. Yes, who is raising the hand? Yes, Sakesh ji. You want to ask anything, Sakesh ji? Statement number 2 is false. Data related to RuPay is stored in India to protect Indian customer information. Next. RuPay offers various card variants like Classic, Platinum, and Select to cater the different customer segments. Yes, it does. RuPay contactless support tokenization enables secure card payment via smartphones, wearables, IoT device without exposing sensitive card details. Yes, it does. RuPay cards cannot be used for online transactions through NPCI. This is wrong. This is wrong. They can be used for online transactions. So, statement number 4, 2 and 5 are incorrect. That will give us D as the correct answer. D is the correct answer. Very good, very good. Next. Regarding the evolution and critical factors of e-governance in India, which of the following statements are correct? Which of the following statements are correct? Statement number 1 is correct, right? Statement number 1 is correct. Making financial transactions cashless and digital is one of the 6 critical factors of ensuring governance and services are available on demand. What are the 6 factors? Seamless integrated service across departments, availability of real-time transactions using phones, entitlement of all citizens by providing a cloud space, digital transformation for doing business easily, digital transformation service to improve doing business properly, and there is making financial transaction cashless, and there is the last geospatial information system GIS to leverage the decision making. Okay, there are 6 critical factors. Statement number 2 is correct. Statement number 3. E-governance India started with digital financial transactions and only recently moved towards citizen-centric service delivery. This statement is incorrect. E-governance in India started with computerization of the government department. It does not focus on the financial transaction. It is regarding the development of the country, and it is for the citizens, for the development, for the services of the citizens, for the betterment of the citizens. Statement number 3 is incorrect. That will give us A as the correct answer. A is the correct answer. There were 6 services mentioned there. Read this. Next, which of the following statements regarding IMPS are correct? What are the services regarding IMPS which are correct? IMPS is 24/7 operated, yes. And for USD views, *99#. Statement number 2 is again correct. Statement number 3, authentication of IMPS on mobile channel requires a mobile number and a 4-pin MPIN. Yes, it is 4, and sometimes it is 6 as well. So it can be 4 to 6. Statement number 3 is correct. But if it is written 6, so you can write 6 as well. 4 to 6 is the rule. Statement number 4 is incorrect. IMPS transactions are settled instantly on a real-time basis without any settlement cycle between banks. IMPS is instant and real-time for the user's perspective. Interbank settlements happen through the settlement cycle. So it is not properly interbank settlement. It is उसी समय हो रही है transaction, but the bank settlements happen at the end of the day. Statement number 4 is incorrect. Beneficiary mobile number registration with a bank account is mandatory to receive funds through IMPS. Yes, it is. Yes. No. Sorry. It is not mobile number. It is the account number. Sorry. It is the account number and the IFSC code. No. It is not the mobile number. Statement number 5 is incorrect. That will give us A as the correct answer. A as the correct answer. Very good, Sairamji. Very good. Next, Sushilji. Next. Which of the following statements about the Government of India Meghraj GI Cloud initiative is correct? Meghraj क्या है? It is a cloud service of the Government of India, right? It is a cloud service provided by the Government of India for government protocols. It is a cloud environment for the government protocols for faster e-service. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is correct. NIC Cloud Service offers services like PaaS, IaaS, SaaS, and other cloud-related activities. To use NIC Cloud Service, Government Department must register with NIC, have the government email, and connect with NIC private server. Yes, all of these are correct. D is the correct answer. Very good, Sushilji, Akansha ji, and Sairamji. Next. Which of the following statements about government e-market JAIIB are correct? What are correct? JAIIB is described as a cashless, contactless, and paperless department. Okay. This happened in 2016. In 2016, the JAIIB requires sellers to display the country of origin. The JAIIB offers advantages to buyer from continuous vendor rating system, easy return policy, and the seller of dynamic pricing. Yes. 2 and 3 are correct. B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Next question. Consider the following statements about new various introduction in UPI 2.0. UPI 2.0. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is not correct. UBI 2.0 allows overdraft. That allows overdraft accounts to be linked. Statement number 2 is incorrect. 1 and 3 are correct. A is the correct answer. Next question. Consider the following statements about NFS. Statement number 2 is incorrect. Aadhaar number seeding is the basic service of NFS, and no. Statement number 3 is also incorrect. Statement number 4 is correct. 1 and 4 are correct. C is the correct answer. Aadhaar number seeding is a value-added service, not basic services. Basic services includes cash withdrawal, balance inquiry, PIN changes, mini statements. It is earned over by NPCI. From NPCI, from IDRBT in December 14, 2009. Next question. IMPS is 24/7 available? Yes. IMPS is for domestic transactions, not international. Statement number 2 is incorrect. Statement number 2 is incorrect. Correct. Not for international transactions. Statement number 3 is also incorrect. IMPS is managed by NPCI. It is managed by NPCI. 3 is incorrect. The moment 2 and 3 gets incorrect, we get C as the correct answer. Let's see why 4 is also incorrect and 7 is also incorrect. IMPS does not always require beneficiary number. We just need account number and we just need IFSC code. Statement number 7 is incorrect because IMPS transactions are instant. They are instant. For us, it is instant. For the banks, it is cycle on the basis of cycle. So statement number 7 is also incorrect. C is the correct answer. Let's see unit number 47. Sushilji, what IRBDT what? Yes, it is by IRBDT, not RBI. Ma'am wrote in notes RBI. Okay, maybe I did wrong. Maybe there is a mistake at my end. I do not know what exactly you are saying. Please send me a screenshot so that I can make the changes. Now, what all things are important here? In this unit, AI is important, RPA is important, chatbots are very important. Currency and cryptocurrency is important because see, these are the new technologies. Isme we are talking about the new technologies. So these pointers are important. Question number 1 is on the screen. Question number 1 is on the screen. What, Sushilji? Last 2 questions. NPCI तो लिखा मैंने. The NPCI took over from IDRBT. I do not understand the question, Sushilji. Sairamji, the single paper notes will be given by tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. Question number 1 is on the screen. It's okay. हो जाता है. Schedule number 1 is on the screen. The 1 pages note will be given to you by tomorrow morning, maximum by 11 a.m. Schedule number 1 is correct, schedule number 2 is correct, schedule number 3 is not correct. Digital currency do not provide transparency of wallet transaction to the public. It is confidential. Schedule number 3 is incorrect. Schedule number 4 is correct. Schedule number 5 is again incorrect. The RBI Retail Digital Rupee pilot launched in 2022 is an example of cryptocurrency. The RBI Digital Rupee pilot is an example of central bank digital currency, not privately issued cryptocurrency. Schedule number 5 is incorrect. The RBI Digital Rupee pilot is an example of central bank digital currency, which is issued and regulated by the central bank, not privately issued cryptocurrency. A is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following statements about the impact of IT are correct? Schedule number 1 is correct. Schedule number 2 is incorrect. See, the widespread adoption of the online banking has completely eliminated the need for human interaction. Are there not banks? Are you not working in the banks? Schedule number 2 is incorrect. The EASE 5.0 program launched by Indian Bank Association focused on enhancing the digital capitals and customer services, primarily focusing on the PSBs and special attention to small businesses and agriculture. Yes? 1 and 3 are correct. 4th is again incorrect. IT advances have increased the demand. It has not decreased. It has not reduced. So statement is 4 is incorrect. 2 and 4 are incorrect. 5 is correct. That will give us C as the correct answer. C is the correct answer. Very good. Very good. See, as I've told you, basics hai. It is like you are going through things very normally that you do. 3. Identify the correct statements about global trends in the banking system and the impact of the technology. 3 is on the screen. One is correct, right? Banks are expanding ATM installations. 2 is correct. Cryptocurrency and alternative electronic cash form leverage technologies, which eliminates the paper-based methods. Dekho. I don't know how many of you have watched Dhurandhar. You can see, you know that a lot of frauds happen with the cash, right? We want our economy to be cashless, and cryptocurrency is forwarding us to that economy. Schedule number 3 is also correct. Schedule number 4 is not correct. See, globalization of the banking service is pushing large banks to focus solely on the domestic market, reducing their international operations due to regulatory complexity. This is incorrect. We are increasing our global natures. Global services are increasing because of the international operations. Schedule number 4 is incorrect. Schedule number 5 is correct. B is the correct answer. Very good. Very good. Very proud of you guys. Very, very good. B is the correct answer. Next, which of the following statements regarding the use of technology in banking are correct? What all are correct? Technology enables fingertip access to bank account widespread through ATMs and online services. Yes. EDI involves sending unstructured fee format messages between banks. See, EDI means structured messages aate hain. Unstructured messages go via email. Statement number 1 is correct, 2 is not. 3 is correct. EDI is designed to automatic processing of the structured data without manual intervention. Yes. Statement number 4 is incorrect. Emails are unstructured messages. कोई भी किसी को कुछ भी लिख के भेज सकता है. There is no correction of the data. It is, see, we prefer it to be professional, but sometimes the people do not. It is not a business document. Statement number 5 is correct. EDI fact provides universal standards for communication through EDI. Yes, it does. Statement number 2 and 4 are incorrect. 1, 3, 5 are correct. B is the correct answer. B is the correct answer. Next, very nice. Next question. Which of the following statements about AI are true? A good question. A good question. AI can be used to predict data, predict frauds, predict analyze data. AI-driven mobile apps provide only basic services. No, AI is the smarter form. It does not just give basic services. Collaboration between humans and machines is essential to achieve the highest level of AI. Correct? Humans and machine both, because see, machine cannot detect human experiences. Statement number 4. AI uses components like machine learning, computer vision, and natural languages generation. Yes, it does. Statement number 5. AI is solely based on improving the speed of back office operation without affecting customer experience. This is incorrect. We want the customer to be happy. We want the customer to be happy. Statement number 5 is incorrect. That will give us D as the correct answer. Very, very good. Very good. Very proud of you guys. You are doing very good. Statement of question number. Next question is on the screen. Regarding 5G technology, statement number 1 is correct. 5G uses millimeter waves to enhance data. Statement number 2 is incorrect. 5G uses 4G LTE to establish connection. सिर्फ 5G नहीं होता कहीं पे भी. It is 4G LTE as well. ठीक है? अपने फोन में भी तो देखते होंगे ना ये. That sometimes 5Gs are not available, so it is 4 LTE. If you have Jio at your home, 4G and 5G together comes, right? So statement number 2 is incorrect. The moment 2 gets incorrect, we eliminate A and C. B and D में the option will be B, because statement number 4 is also incorrect. 5G provides low latency, high data speed, so that there is communication which happens easily. Statement number 4 is opposite of what is written. B is the correct answer. Next question. Which of the following statements regarding digital lending in India are true? Last question from this unit. Digital lending in India is primarily limited to banks and does not include NBFCs. Why? NBFCs, Fintechs are the platforms. There are not the banks. There are other places. There are NBFCs and Fintechs which helps in digital eco lending. Statement number 1 is incorrect. The moment 1 gets incorrect, we got B as the correct answer. Other statements except 1 are true. Right? Next question. Okay, next we have is unit 48. This talks about security. When I told you about 46, it was RTGS and IMPS, UPIs, etc. You do that on a daily basis. 47 was logical. Okay? It was nothing to mug up. It was logic that you were using. 48. Security considerations and mitigation measures in bank. How to save our bank and the transactions and the data that we have from cyber attacks, from frauds, with internet is the most greatest advantage to the humankind. But with internet, with benefits comes the pains, the hacks, the technology misuses, right? So what are these technology misuses are given under unit 48. Next, question number 1. What is the implication of frequent changes and patching a official application software? This helps us that nobody can get into the data. This helps the data become developed. It makes the system less. Okay, it is saying frequent changes and patching in application. See, patching से ना efficiency कम होती है. चेंजेस से एफिशिएंसी बढ़ती है, ठीक है. सो चेंजेस, फ्रीक्वेंट चेंजेस से द एफिशिएंसी कैन इंक्रीज बट पैचिंग कैन रिड्यूस. सो इट मेक्स द सिस्टम लेस एफिशिएंट एंड मे रिक्वायर न्यू डेवलपमेंट. C is the right answer. Repeated patching for application to meet changing banking requirements can reduce efficiency, highlighting the need of proper change in the management. See, changing it gets better. Next, question number 2. Question number 2. Ma'am, kindly once explain last question. Evala, are you talking about this question? Sushil ji, digital lending. Sushil ji, are you talking about this question basic? Are you okay? ठीक है. Digital lending is, see, digital lending में it is not just the banks who are lending. Digital lending is accepted by NBFCs and Fintechs also. This is done by Fintechs and digital NBFCs also. Balance sheet ledgers carry the credit risk on their balance sheet and provides the capital for loan. बैलेंस शीट लेजर्स बेसिकली दे बियर द क्रेडिट रिस्क. ये क्रेडिट रिस्क के लिए लेजर्स होते हैं. लेजर्स ना, बैलेंस शीट्स क्या होती हैं? इट टॉक्स अबाउट द लाइबिलिटीज एंड द एसेट्स, ठीक है. एंड द बैलेंस शीट लेजर्स टॉक्स अबाउट द क्रेडिट रिस्क, कि कितना हमारे पास कैपिटल है एंड कितना हम उस पर लोन दे सकते हैं एंड व्हाट इज द रिस्क दैट आर कैरिड विद द बैंक. MPLs, marketplace lenders basically facilitate करते हैं. If they do not consider कि what the risk is, they do not check out कि क्या data है क्या नहीं है. See, marketplace lenders are more like money lenders. They do not see कि I am credit worthy or not. They just lend the person because the person has come to them and they are giving a security. So they help the person to get the loan at any cost. कि क्या उनका background है, it doesn't matter to them. Next question. Okay, we are doing question number 2. Question number 2. Statement number, all the statements that are given are correct. These are about the threat management in the information security. All the statements given are correct. D is the correct answer. Let's see the explanation. No, obviously it is correct, so there is no changes. See, IES security assessments must analyze threats via audit, vulnerability assessment, penetration test, cover access control, telecommunication, network and security management practices. Perimeters protection involves firewalls, intrusion detection and prevention, virus DDoS, and controlled customer access via web servers to segregate internet and intranet by better security monitoring. Hardware and software changes carry risk. Hence, hardware must be securely configured before installation. Software requires frequent updates and version control. All changes should be accessed and approved as the part of formal change management policy. Next, which of the following statement regarding digital signature are true? Digital signature are what? They are the encrypted keys. ठीक है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मैसेजेस में दे आर द इनक्रिप्टेड कीज. दे आर नॉट फोटो कॉपीज ऑफ द मैनुअल सिग्नेचर. ये बनाया ही नेट से जाता है, बनाया ही यूजिंग टेक्नोलॉजी से जाता है. डिजिटल सिग्नेचर्स आर मेड यूजिंग टेक्नोलॉजी. They are made using technology. So statement number C is correct. C is correct. Next, use of hash value or message digest related to the digital signature process. How the hash value helps. It precisely defines the part of message to be signed and is unique for a message. यहाँ पे साइन करो. So that reading of the message, reading of the signature is correct. The sender computes a hash message or a message digest using hashing algorithm, which uniquely presents the message content and defines the exact data to be signed. This digest is then transformed to a digital signature. Question number 5, sorry. Question number 5. Wishing. There is phishing, there is wishing. Wishing में V means video call. Video call frauds mainly occur through which of the following? They are by phone calls. Phone पे करें ना, phone पे we are doing a video call. Phone calls pretending to be a banker and a service provider. Wishing is, sorry, voice actually. Wishing is voice. Yes, wishing is voice. Voice. फोन कॉल्स हो रहे हैं विशिंग में, वीडियो कॉल्स नहीं. विशिंग इज वॉइस. वी से वॉइस होता है. यस यस, बी इज द करेक्ट आंसर. नेक्स्ट, विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट अबाउट कार्ड फ्रॉड्स एंड सिम स्वैपिंग आर करेक्ट? You answer this question. Give me a minute. Answer the question. Statement number 1 is correct. Yes, 1 is correct. 2 is correct. देखो, CNP frauds occur when card details are used without the physical presence. So typically e-commerce में और phone transactions में CPN is used. SIM swapping fraud is fraudster is trying to use your OTPs, to use your data to do fraud. And statement number 3 is CP. Statement number 3 is saying card present fraud refers to fraud where cards are stolen from the fraud, is detected immediately and the victims during the transaction. No. Card present fraud happens when card data is stolen during a physical transaction. But victims usually discovers this very later. They do not get discovered immediately. If something happens immediately, how will it will be easy for us to determine ना कि कहाँ पे कौन गड़बड़ कर रहा है, who is doing the mistake. Statement number 3 is incorrect. Card present fraud happens when card data is stolen during the physical transaction, but victims usually discovers unauthorized use only after checking their statement, not immediately during the transaction. Next. Next question. Increased consumption and customer exceptions have compelled banks to aggressively adopt the IT, thereby deepening their operational dependency on it. Yes. In computerized banking environment, software, data, and hardware are 3 distinct interdependent pillars. Yes, without hardware, there will be no software and there will be no data. And everything is interdependent. The presence of inaccurate or manipulated data can significantly destroy the strategic business decision. Yes. The robust data control framework completely eliminates the risk of internal fraud. See, you cannot completely eliminate the internal fraud. It does reduce it, but internal fraud को आप eliminate कैसे कर सकते हो? Frauds cannot be eliminated at a whole. They can be reduced to whatever, whether it is internal or external. Statement number 4 is incorrect. Integration of the banking system with communication networks like internet enhanced services delivery but simultaneously escalates the cyber risks. Yes. Inadequate maintenance of the core infrastructure like servers, routers, UPS system can disrupt banking operation and can cause data loss. Yes. Risks related to peopleware includes stagnation in technology competency and operational impacts. Yes, it can. Everything except statement number 4 is correct. Wherever 4 is mentioned, let's eliminate that and then we'll get D as the correct answer. D is the correct answer. Next question. Perfect. Which of the following statements are correct? Threat to computer system may or may not lead to actual damage, but they always imply a potential risk. Yes. Environment hazards like spikes in power supply and excessive humidity can negatively impact the computerized system. Yes, कभी भी एकदम से लाइट चली जाएगी, if slide goes randomly or there is a high voltage or there is a human area, the laptops can get bad. There can be default in the computers and the printers and the data that we have. So statement number 2 is incorrect. Correct. In most cases, human error contributes more to computer failures than machine errors. Yes. Error in complex system always gets detected during initial testing and debugging phase. No. See, error in the remain hidden. What happen is they stay hidden. हमें ना काफी समय बाद पता चलता है कि कुछ गड़बड़ है. If it gets tested earlier now, it will be easier for us to detect all the frauds that can happen. Statement number 4 is incorrect. Statement number 5 is correct. That will give us a C as the correct answer. C as the correct answer. Next question. Statement number 1 is correct. Malicious data, especially data centers, can disrupt the services. Statement number 2 is incorrect. Frauds can be detected through internal monitoring system. They are not just external. Both internal and external factors affect everything, whether it is regarding detection or regarding frauds happening or regarding every steps to take the care. हर जगह पे we have to work at every step. Statement number 2 is incorrect. Statement number 3 is correct. Statement number 2, 1 and 3 are correct. That will give us B as the right answer. Next question. Last question from this unit. Statement number 1 is correct. Preventive control eliminates the error of irregularities before they occur. हम prevent करें, we are stopping. Detective controls identify errors after they occur and work to eliminate them. Detective controls, they identify that there is an error. We do not eliminate them. हमें पता चल गया कि कुछ गड़बड़ है. We have detected that. Next, corrective controls are designed to prevent errors and irregularities. No, correctives are to fix the problems. So 2 and 3 are incorrect. Physical control ensures that only authorized persons can access the computer room and hardware. Yes. Next, logical control are implemented only through hardware mechanisms such as firewalls. No. There are softwares. They are not just hardwares. There are softwares, not just hardwares. Sixth statement is correct. Internal controls ensures adherence to efficiencies and asset protection. Statement number 7 is incorrect. Authorization functions allows user access to entire system without restriction. No, only the authorized personnel can enter. That will give 7 as also incorrect. That will give 1, 4, 6 as correct. A is the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Now we have unit 9. Sushil ji will discuss this in the tomorrow's morning class. Don't worry, this topic will be get covered tomorrow in details. Okay, now operational aspects of cybercrimes. अब cybercrime, how does they work? How do they interrupt our data and get our data affected? What all things can we do to help that? Okay, what are things associated? Question number 1. VAPT is generally classified as high, medium and low. Okay, they are categorized as high, medium and low. C is the correct answer. Next question. ABC Bank recently faced an attempted cyber attack where hackers tried to gain unauthorized access to its internal financial system. However, the attack was detected and stopped because multiple layers of security, such as firewall, intrusions detection system, multi-factor authentications, and network segmentation, were implemented. Even though the attackers bypassed the firewall, they were stopped at the intrusion detection alert, which gave the bank security team enough time to block the intrusion completely. Which of the following best explains the security measures were effective in this case? B is the right answer. Defense in depth हुआ हमारा अच्छा खासा हमने strategies लगाई थी. We put multiple layers so that there can be no redundancy. There can be protection of the data. B is the right answer. Next, a bank is evaluating whether to invest in a large SOC framework or more. Workforce or more. Automated monitoring tools. Based on the SOC role are described, which of the statements are most accurate? What is most accurate? That humans analyst remains essential for the accurate recognition and investigation instance. B is the correct answer. SOCs use technology for detection. Human analysts are vital for evaluation, confirming incidents. Option A and D suggest over-reliance, and option C ignores the implementation of the robust policy and procedures. Which of the following statements regarding cyber security operations center in bank are correct? CSOC requires a method to identify attacks. Okay, such as incident investigation, forensics, what happened, how to prevent, and what exactly affected. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2, dynamic behavior analysis of CSOC involves primarily preliminary statics and dynamic analysis. Yes, it does. Statement number 3 is incorrect. RBI guidelines mandate the CSOC focus only on the real-time monitoring and do not require stakeholders' participation. It talks about the stakeholders and their participations. It is not just about the real monitoring, it is about both. It is not limited to real monitoring. 1 and 2 are correct. A is the correct answer. Which of the following characteristics are might NBAD monitor the detect anomalies? Bandwidth, traffic, and protocol use. B is the right answer. Next, which of the following correctly differentiate vulnerabilities assessments from penetration testing? Vulnerability assessment is about internal organizational security, while penetration testing addresses real-world external threats. Learn करेंगे से हम. Next question. Which of the following statements are true regarding cyber risk and fraud in banking? Cyber crimes have political, personal, exploratory motives. Okay? So it is for the financial gains of the people who want to extort money from somebody else. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is incorrect because frauds can happen online and offline. Statement number 3 is correct. Statement number 4 is again incorrect. Traditional security solutions like intrusion prevention system are completely sufficient. No, it is not. No, it is not. Statement number 5 is correct. That will give us A as the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Next. Threat attackers can include current or former employees who compromises data. Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Current and former employees are also threat actors, not attackers, or actors. Cyber criminals are only motivated by political reasons. No, it can be financial gains as well. Statement number 3. Identity theft is considered a major cyber threat. Yes, it is. Business competitors can also act as threat actors. Yes. DDoS attacks aims to protect the network from malware. DDoS attacks are intended to disrupt services, not to protect from malware. 5 and 2 are incorrect. That will give us A as the correct answer again. नहीं कांशा जी सुशील जी, it is A. A is the right answer. Actually, statement number 5 is also incorrect. Hai na? Next, identify which of the following statements are true regarding the cyber risk mitigation defense in depth. This is a good question. A very good question actually. Statement number 1 is correct. Application whitelisting helps control unauthorized software execution. Statement number 2 is incorrect. Daily backups are recommended. Daily and monthly are recommended. Daily and monthly. Everything gets daily regulated and monthly में दोबारा check करते हैं कि सब कुछ हुआ है कि नहीं backup. Multi-factor authentication protects against the risky activities of credentials theft. Yes. Defense in depth places a single security. No, it is a multiple security layers so that the people cannot attack the actual data. Patching operation system is essential for remediate known as vulnerabilities. Correct? Patching operation is essential. Next, defense in depth increases the times and efforts of the attackers. Yes, it does. Statement number 2 and 4 are incorrect. That will give us D as the correct answer. D is the correct answer. Next question. Last question from this unit. Which of the following statements about the security operations and cyber security operations center are correct? C. SOC continuously monitors security postures. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2. CFO typically heads the SOC. No, it is not CFO. It is CISO. Chief Internet Security Officer. Statement number 3 is correct. Statement number 4 is correct. Statement number 5 is correct. That will give us B as the correct answer. Now we have the last unit from Module C. It talks about fintechs, regtechs and subtechs basically. The hash banking function, how social media is helping, etc. etc. Not an important unit. But you need to go through it because see, 1 mark तो हमें हर जगह से मिल रहा है ना. At least 1 mark from every place. Next, what is one of the most major risk associated with the open banking system? That somebody can misuse your information. Somebody can misuse your account. C. Next. Which organization is responsible for operating the e-rupee? It is the Reserve Bank of India. Yes, Ravi ji. Yes, Ravi ji. No. E-rupee is Reserve Bank of India. Unlike UPI is operated by NPCI, e-rupee is operated by the RBI as it aims to providing digital vouchers to beneficiaries. Which of the following technologies is commonly associated with RegTech? Blockchains? Blockchains? Yes. No. It is cloud computing and machine learning. Okay? It is cloud computing and machine learning. Learn करें ना. This is important. Okay? This is good actually. RegTech use क्या करता है? See. RegTech is cutting-edge technologies used by cloud computing, machine learning, AI, big data to enable real-time monitoring and efficient execution of compliance obligation. Next question. E-rupee vouchers can be redeemed only at merchant designated by a issuer bank at the time of issuance. Each e-rupee vouchers can be issued at any denomination of a maximum of 25,000. Maximum is 10,000. E-rupee enables contactless cashless delivery. Only bank authorized to issue BPIs to participate in PSPs. A single mobile number can receive not more than 10 vouchers. E-rupee cannot be used to withdraw cash. Sponsors must be either corporates or government departments, not individual retail customers. The issuer banks can track the redemption status of e-rupee. The e-rupee vouchers are valid only for a fixed set of goods and services and cannot be used like cash. Yes. All the statements except 2 are correct. That will give us C as the correct answer. C as the correct answer. Next, identify which of the following statements are correct regarding Fintech, RegTech and SupTech. Yes, I am Sushilji, but why? What specifically? Statement number 1 is incorrect. Fintech refers only to mobile phones application developed by startups. Fintechs now, it is more than mobile phone apps, more than startups. It includes the big technologies, big traditional institutions. Statement number 1 is incorrect. Statement number 2, 3, 4 are correct. RegTech uses AI, big data. SupTech supports supervisory tasks. RegTech helps fintech and regulators to real-time monitoring. SupTech is advised to supervise authority. SupTech is used by private banks to monitor exclusively for their compliance. SupTech is a supervisory authority. It is not just for private banks. Statement number 1 and 5 are incorrect. That will give us 2, 3, 4, 6 is correct also. 2, 3, 4 and 6 are correct. A is the correct answer. Very good, Sushilji and Sairamji. Next question. Hashtag banking. D is the right answer. Statement number 3 is not correct. See, there is no per se restriction कि कब कर सकते और कब नहीं कर सकते. When to do and what not to do. That it is only available for online banking during banking hours. Others are correct except 3. D is the correct answer. Which of the following statements regarding account aggregators are correct? Account aggregators, see, is a type of RBI regulators which with NBFC AA license. Statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is also correct. Individual banks need to be part of the AA network to for the data to be shared. 3 is incorrect. Data shared by AA cannot be stored for and used for any other purpose. Statement number 4 is correct. Statement number 5 is also correct. That will give us A as the correct answer. A as the correct answer. Statement number 3 के अलावा सब correct है. Now we have Module D. I'm giving you a 2 minutes break here. Okay? Right now it is 10:41. We'll meet at 10:43. We'll start with Module D. If anybody wants to ask anything, please go ahead, write that in the chat section. A 2 minutes break, exactly 2 minutes. Let's start. First we have is, देखो इसमें ना everything again, as I mentioned in the group, that you have the short notes. You need to go through these short notes. A reading of those short notes will be perfectly fine for you for Unit D, Module D. 5 unit है, 10-15 slides में every unit is getting covered. ठीक है? Maximum 100 pages. Maximum is that what I'm telling you. Maximum is 100 ज़्यादा बोल रही, 70 pages maybe. You'll be covering everything. Just a reading of it will be sufficient. So it is talking about ethics related to business. The whole unit is regarding क्या करना चाहिए, क्या नहीं करना चाहिए, what to do, what not to do, what to avoid. Which of the following is not a correct characteristics of a business? That purely descriptive records what people do without judgment. Not. It is what is not. Statement number 3 is incorrect. Ethics is perspective, meaning it sets standards for what should be done rather than simply describing behavior. Consider the following statements regarding Satyam scam and its lesson. The attempt acquisition of Maitas infrastructure and Maitas properties triggered a strong negative market reaction, leading to further scrutiny. Yes, statement number 1 is correct. Statement number 2. The statutory auditors failed to uncover the massive financial manipulation, including fictitious invoice, bank balances, and forged fixed deposits. Even after 9 years of auditing, we were not able to detect it. Statement number 2 is correct. Statement number 3 is not correct. The after crisis, Satyam was swiftly taken over by Wipro, which leveraged its business strength and restored operations. Takeover was by Tech Mahindra. टेक महिंद्रा था टेक ओवर करने वाला, not Wipro. A is the correct answer. Next, in ethical banking, integrity primarily refers to what? Integrity primarily refers to no immoral intent to dealing with business partners. C is the right answer. Integrity is ethical banking means there is no intention to treat the business partners in immoral way. Political neutrality is a part of business. Principle of neutrality, providing accurate information, falls under the reliability. Consider question number 4. Crisis of 2007 and 8. पता ये ना important है. 22 Satyam case 2007-8. If you refer the notes that I have provided to you, it will be easy for you to understand. मैंने बताया notes के बाद एक पेज में कि क्या content है. What the content is actually. What the case is actually talking about. Statement 1 is correct. Statement number 2 is not correct. The crisis had a significant ethical dimension. Statement number 2 is incorrect. B is the correct answer. The crisis had a significant ethical dimensions involving corporate governance failure, conflict of interest, lack of transparency. Question number 5. Which of the following is an example of impaired independence and objective of banking professionals? Giving priority to friends loan application. This is wrong. Next, consider the following statements regarding the need and importance of ethics. See, bank often faces what is right and what is less right dilemma. Okay, so if there are good ethics, it will help employees to get out of this situation. Ethic practices is in bank only helps in maintaining customer satisfaction. No, it is for the protection of the goodwill, so that there is no legal breaches. So the bank's protection goal is protected. Okay. So statement number 2 is incorrect. Statement number 3 is correct. That will give us B as the correct answer. What, madam? What were the short notes placed? It is in the app. Raviji, it is in the app. Go to the live PDFs, and in the live PDFs you will find this section made. This में लिखा होगा PPB short notes. In that there are short notes of all the modules, A, B, C, D, 4 modules. Specifically look out for module D. Module D is for you to revise. 10 marks from module D is there, है ना? Just उसको पढ़ोगे ना, you'll be getting things cleared. And obviously I'll be helping you out with in the morning regarding the concept. B is the correct answer. B. Ethic primarily deals with what ought to be done. Which of the following is an informal term explaining the core principle of business? Core principle of business is business values. Why is it said that ethics are mostly managed indirectly? Because organization manage ethics by influencing culture and values rather than directly controlling individuals. कि ऐसे करो ऐसे restrictions नहीं push करते. We set up the culture. कि these are the things that we follow. Next, consider the following statement regarding business ethics. B is the right answer. Because statement number 2 is incorrect. Statement number 2 is incorrect. It is not the only stakeholders like customers and investors. It is regarding the relationship among the peoples as well, among the staff. Next, ethics at the individual level. What are the myths and what are the realities related to business? How to come over our own personal advantages? What is value? What is norm? What is a belief? There is a difference between the three. And you need to know the difference, because you will get confused when you will be answering things. So So the difference between the three is important. Question number 1. Which of the following statements regarding the framework for ethical decision making in the banking are correct? And this is important, the moral compass. This is mentioned in 52 and 53 both. Statement number, Lee and Pin के ना 4 lenses थे. We talked about purpose, principle, people, power. 4 P's. Statement number 1 and 2 are correct. Third is not. The prescription lens is ethical decision making, checks whether the decision is consistent with the organizational values. The prescription lens does not check the social values. It checks whether the action violates the bank's policies or any law. We do not do anything which is against the law, which is against the bank's policy. Every statement except statement number 3 is correct. That will give us A as the correct answer. A is the correct answer. No, Sushil ji, statement number 3 is incorrect. Statement number 4 is talking about public lens. Public lens tests whether one could confidentially share the decisions. Which of the following statements correctly presents the feature of resolution approach of ethical dilemmas in an organization? Statement number 1 and 3 are correct, 2 is not. End result based thinking aim at forwarding rules strictly to ensure fairness. End result based thinking is to see कि जो हम कर रहे हैं वो ठीक है कि नहीं, what we are doing is correct or not, whether what we are doing is ethical or not. Statement number 2 is incorrect. Consider the following statements regarding principal ethics, business ethics, personal ethics, business ethics, and integrity and responsibility. Personal ethics is based on the conscience of a person. Integrity means जो हमने सीखा है बचपन से, what we honor, what is truth for us, what is the values that we have heard. Individual responsibilities means that we don't blame others for what we have done wrong, right? We are responsible for our own actions. All the statements given are correct. All the statements are correct. That will give us D as the correct answer. Next, what was one of the main purpose strategy that contributed to Enron crisis? Enron crisis. Rapid diversification into non-core business, right? B is the correct answer. Dekho. What did we learn from Enron case? Unethical accounting policies and misrepresentation financial statements should not be used to project better financial business performance. हमें लोगों को नहीं दिखाना. We do not have to show people that we are doing good. We have to be true for ourselves so that we know what position we are at. Excessive performance pressure to achieve higher goals lead to wrongful practice because people tend to do wrong when they are under pressure. Unfair practice and poor transparency in business dealing do not only good corporate strategies help achieve success. Pre-crisis prevention nature by way of proper audit can help nip the problem at the very beginning. हम बंद कर सकते हैं. We can stop the problem at the very beginning. Nip the part you have heard. This is a phrase that we use. What does the statement anger is bad means? Anger is bad. Is it a value? Is it a norm? Is it a rule? It is a value. We say this truth is always good. We say honesty is good. Sun rises from east. These are the values that we have heard. These are the things that are taught to us from the very beginning. Values are put into us from our families. Okay? Statement number, yes, A is the correct answer. Very good. Last question. How many golden rules of ethics are there? How many golden rules of ethics are there? Three golden rules. Everything you want others to do to you, you should do to others. Do not do others what you do not wish them to do to you. Do not do anything to others which if done to you can cause harm to you. ऐसा कुछ मत करो जो तुम नहीं चाहते तुम्हारे साथ हो. Do not do anything that will harm, that you do not want you to somebody else to do to you. ठीक है. These are the three principles. Make sure you know these. ठीक है. Next, we have ethical dimensions regarding employees. We do not do harassment. We do not do discrimination on the basis of caste, grade, sex, race. We do not give third-party favors. We do not do anything which can conflict our interest with the business interest. Next, setting up an institutional control mechanisms for conflict of interest management is based on. It is based on what? It is based on the degree of potential risk. Next, which of the following factor is least likely to directly contribute to retain young qualified talents in a bank? Opportunity of enhanced knowledge. Absence of competition. देखो सब चाहते हैं कि वो ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा सीखें, फेयरनेस हो, वर्क एनवायरनमेंट अच्छा हो, बट कंपटीशन ना हो ऐसी जगह पे कोई काम नहीं करना चाहता. People want to compete because they want to grow. ठीक है. This is the least likely activity. Next, when did the Reserve Bank of India first advise all commercial banks to implement the Supreme Court guidelines regarding sexual harassment? Supreme Court gave guidelines in Vishakha case. The name of the case is Vishakha case. अब आपको पूरा केस याद नहीं करने की जरूरत है. The name, you should remember the Vishakha case. ठीक है. It is regarding sexual harassment, and the data came in 1998 February, and the guidelines came in 1998. Next, factors in influencing the management of dilemma can be broadly classified into two categories. They are the manager's perspective of the job, which is not. Manager का क्या perspective है job का? Manager को कोई भी point of view है, how does that matter to you? Will that be a dilemma to anybody? Next, see, factor influencing the management of the dilemma can broadly classify into company's policies, organization's culture, organization structure, attitude at the top management, manager's prescription of the job. These are the individual factors. ठीक है. Personal background and the personal values. ठीक है. ये organizational factors है. Above 4 and then below 4 are the individual factors. Which of the following is not one of the lenses in the moral compass? Which of the following? क्या है? It is purpose, right? Purpose. कि क्यों हमने, why do we want morals to be there? Why do we want values to be there? It is purpose, principle, people, power. PPPP. PUPRPEPO. What does proprietary data refers to? Proprietary data means company का अपना data, the intellectual data of the company, the trade secrets. Next, Ajay, a senior credit officer at a reputed bank, is responsible for approving personal loans for customers. One day, a loan applicant named Rajesh offered Ajay a substantial sum of money in return of the insuring loan. क्या दे रहा? corruption होगा, right? Even though Rajesh does not meet the bank's criteria for loan approval, what should Ajay do in this situation? मना कर दे, do not take the loan, reject the bribe, and report the incident. Yes, report the incident. B. Next, which of the following is an example of abuse of power? Bank employees goes for a personal travel and claims reimbursement. Yes, this is. Use of official resource for personal use. Yes, it is. Not sharing performance of customers based on proximity of the employees. This is not. Okay, this is not abuse of power. Third is not abuse of power. A is the correct answer. Now we have unit 4, workplace ethics. Everything is not me. I do not just work for myself. I work, if I am working for a company, I am working for the benefit of a company, no, not just for me. Something bigger than the self is what values and ethics are regarding the workplace. Okay? Question number 1. Question number 1 is on the screen. XYZ Corporation is a large organization where employees monitoring. You will answer this question. Okay? I will not answer this question until you guys do. XYZ Corp is a large organization where employees monitoring is limited to a weekly review meeting. Recently, it was observed that Ramesh, a senior employee, spends office hours helping his relative file tax returns, advising a small business he co-owns and comparing online shopping deals. He claims that his assigned tasks are completed before each weekly review. Meanwhile, in another department, Priya, a soft-spoken employee from a modest background, has been contributing significantly. Just give me a second, please. I was telling you something. Yes, okay. Contributing significantly to a project. However, during a review meeting, her extroverted colleague Samir confidently explains the project progress, giving the impression that he leads the work. Priya remains silent and the manager praises Samir for his work. Which of the following statements best describes the issue and underlying cause in the scenario? Ramesh's activity during business hours reflect personal business conduct at the workplace, which may stem from low work ethics, greed, and underutilization of his workload. Yes. Samir's behavior illustrated that taking credit for their work, facilitated by differences in the communication skill and socio-economic background between employees. Yes. Both issues can mitigate solely by increasing the number of daily status checks with employees. No. See, it is not कि हम check करेंगे that the employee is doing the work or not. Daily status check alone cannot address this issue. There is a need of changing the management. There is a need of everybody knowing what the work ethics are. 3 is incorrect. 4. The organization's unassertive management and lack of workload allocation contributes the misuse of office hours. Yes, because you are not allocating the work exactly. If you are giving less work to Ramesh and he is misusing that time, so it is a problem at your end, na? You give the proper workload to the people who are working at your place. In case like Priya, top management must access contribution beyond verbal claims. Just because I have said that I have done the work, it is not sufficient enough to give me credit. Okay? So, statement number 3 के अलावा everything is correct. That will give us A as the correct answer. A as the correct answer. Arjun has been working at a mid-sized manufacturing company for 6 years. He is known for completing his project on time and maintaining cordial relations with his superior, but he avoids mentoring junior employees, rarely participates in community or CSR activities, and has already started applying for jobs in other companies offering higher salaries. Recently, the company introduced a training program on work ethics and purpose beyond self. encouraging employees to contribute to social and environmental causes aligned with national and global priorities. During the training, Arjun expressed that while he values his family's welfare and aims to increase his personal asset, he does not believe workplace interventions can improve a personal sense of ethics. He also states that religion should not influence workplace and that environmental concerns should be left entirely to the government. Based on the scenario and the concept of the work ethics and something bigger than the self, which of the following statements are most accurate? Arjun currently exhibits low work ethics due to disattachment from long-term organizational commitment and community engagement. Yes. His belief that work ethics cannot be developed through training is contrary to the evidence that interventions and proper work environment can help. Yes. Valuing family welfare aligns with one level of the hierarchy of the purpose beyond self, but it is not at the highest stage. Is it not at the highest stage? Yes. Family stage पे है, family welfare is there, but the top rank is the society, the global cause. Next, the stance that environmental issues are solely the government responsibility conflicts the idea of individuals and organizational responsibility with global cause. Yes. Avoiding mentoring juniors employees reflect the lack of engagement. Yes. All the statements that are given are correct. D is the correct answer. नहीं आकांक्षा जी, D is the correct answer. Sorry, A. I have said telling A. Actually, D is actually what all is. A is the correct answer. A is the correct answer. Priya is a customer service officer at a mid-sized bank branch. One afternoon, an elderly customer with poor eyesight visits the branch to fill out a complex loan form. Priya notices the customer struggling and offers to help him complete the form accurately. While she is assisting him, a colleague Ramesh interrupts to caution her decision to help customer in this way, suggesting it wastes time. Priya politely assures him she will discuss it later and continues assisting the customer. Later that day, Priya attends a branch meeting where the superior officer instructs her to deny certain loan applications for customers in a particular area, despite the bank's policy and regulations permitting such loans. Priya believes this instruction is discriminatory and potentially illegal. She respectfully declines to follow the instructions and informs her senior manager. Over the next week, Priya avoids discussing this internal conflict with anyone outside the bank, maintaining professional behavior, treats all customers equally, and refuses a box of sweets offered by a satisfied client. She also takes the extra efforts to explain new digital banking process to semi-illiterate customers. Which of the following statements about Priya's behavior are correct? She's a very good person, Priya. She's doing everything correctly. Discussing her disagreement with superior in public space would be ethical so long as no customer complaints are involved. This is incorrect. The disputes and differences among the staff should not be told publicly. It is something that will be done privately. Except statement number 4, everything is correct. That will give us a D as the correct answer. D is the correct answer. Which of the following amounts to sexual harassment? All of the above. Calling out, touching somebody. Okay. Calling somebody sexy, beautiful, or any like flower, rose, something, or demanding a sexual favor, requesting a sexual behavior is sexual harassment. Next, conflict of interest may arise in the following situations: between employees with a bank, between bank and clients, within employees of the bank and a client. Conflict of interest can be among all, right? सबके बीच में हो सकता है. It can be between all. Next, Mahesh and Suresh works a works as relationship manager at JCP Bank. Now you read the question and give me an answer. See. At the start every month, they receive sales target. At end month, Mahesh has reached the smaller portion of his target, but he has also adhered to ethical guidelines. Suresh has surpassed his target, but he has used unethical methods. Despite this unethical behavior, Suresh receives incentives, while Mahesh, also who plays the roles, did not. This is means are not appreciated. C is the correct answer. Last question from this unit. Which of the following statements are indicator of ethical workplace? Statement number 1 is correct, 2 is incorrect, 3 is correct, 4 is incorrect, 5 is correct, 6 is incorrect, 7 is correct. Right? You do not discuss your personal matters. You do not accept gifts. You do not criticize everybody openly. 2, 4 and 6 are incorrect. That will give us D as the correct answer. D is the correct answer. Which of the following statement is true about ethics of a banker? Statement number 1 is correct, 2 is not. Senior lead should only talk about ethical occasionally, as frequent discussions made it seem redundant to employees. No, we work everything as per ethics. We train our employees. We give them a role model. The senior employees, leaders are the role models. A is the correct answer. Which stage corresponds to the evaluation of the banker's ethical commitment after 3 to 5 years in banking? 3 to 5 years is middle management. Sorry. Okay, it is initial stage. 5 to 7 years initial stage. 7 to 15 years middle. And above 15 it is senior. Last. Okay. Now we have unit 55. Unit 55. Next. Question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding the impact and role of IT. How has information technology helped us? Statement number 2 is incorrect. Mergers often involve challenges. ठीक है, क्योंकि मेरा IT अलग है. My working progress is different than yours. It is not seamless. Statement number 2 is incorrect. 5 is also incorrect. IT in banking primarily benefits urban customers and offer limited utilities to semi-urban. No, IT connects all segments. Every person, wherever you are, at wherever place you are, you will be getting the benefits of banking 24/7. Statement number 2 and 5 are incorrect. That will give us B as the correct answer. Next question. Very good, Sushil ji and Akansha ji. Next question. Absence of integrated data integrity and third-party access control. इस समय ये दिख रहा है. A bank integrates multiple fintech APIs into digital banking platforms without uniform oversight. Months later, customer data is leaked. क्योंकि हमारे पास बहुत सारा information है. We have multiple apps. C is the correct answer. Next, consider the following statements relating to IPR. IPR is for innovations. IPR is intellectual property rights. It is IPR में क्या क्या आता है? Copyright, patent, trademark, goodwill. There is geographical design एंड देयर इज वन मोर थिंग, ठीक है, ये सब IPR में आता है. दीज आर फॉर द डेवलपमेंट, जो अपना ब्रेन यूज करे ना, रादर एंड using the physical skills, we are using our artists, we are inventing things out. These are for intangible, these are intangible creations. Goodwill को देख सकता है. Can you see the these intellectual property is for the intangible items. One is incorrect. Copyright होता है artistic work के लिए, for literary work, for the books that I write, for the movies that I create. Copyright is for that. Patents are given for 20 years. After 20 years, the patents will be taken away. The property will be of the public at large. Patent means मैंने कुछ बनाया है. I have innovated something. I have the only one who has the right to use that innovation. Statement number 3 is correct. Statement number 4 is unauthorized use of IP is prohibited. Yes, it is prohibited. Statement number 5 is ethical failure in handling sensitive data can cause reputation risk. Statement number 5 is correct. Statement number 6, only employees working in the IT departments are responsible for ensuring information security. No. Statement number 7 is correct. That will give us D as the correct answer. All employees are responsible for information security. Next question. What are the guidelines for information security, electronic banking, technology risk management, and cyber frauds? They are for everyone. These guidelines are for everyone, all commercial banks. Which of the following statements are correct regarding the secure storage of media as per RBI guidelines? Regarding RBI guidelines, that physical and environmental controls like fire and flood and limited access through block, password and biometrics are essential for storage of data. Yes. RBI mandates to use encryption alone for securing media storage. No. It is not just encryption alone. It is not just encryption alone. RBI provides guidelines for all the commercial banks basically to how to secure the data. It talks about every aspects of controlling the data. It talks about labeling the data which needs to be tracked if something happens. Proper data security के बारे में बात करते हैं, ठीक है. तो encryption is not the only method. We use defenses at different layers. Statement number 1 is incorrect. B is the correct answer. What is one primary benefit of Fintech? Fintech means financial technology. Okay, so it enhances the revenue. Yes, it does. And it helps the innovation because people who do not have the money, they get financial independence. D is the correct answer. With elimination or traditional banking, they are helping the financial institutions are getting the help of the technology. D is the correct answer. Last question. What is the primary objective of enabling framework for regulatory sandbox by RBI? It is, okay, we have one more question after this. It is to foster responsible innovations in financial services. A is the correct answer. Next, last question of the day. The focus has shifted to adoption of latest technologies in banking, revolving around AI. It is revolving around analytics and business intelligence, so that we study the market and get the data and get the innovations done as per the requirement of the customer. It is C. AI around नहीं है. AI हमने यूज करा है ताकि हमारी डेवलपमेंट हो पाए. It is not revolving around AI. C is the correct answer. That is it. We have successfully completed all the modules MCQs. I hope things are pretty clear to you now. You have read everything. You are prepared for your exam. You are studying properly. Okay? We'll meet soon after your exam. Give a second. Thank you everyone for attending the class. If you have any doubt, you can write that in the chat section. I'll get back to you. You can download the PPT from the description link given in the description link given below. Okay? From the link in the description section.